Hello my friends, Asoka the Geek here, and for this review, we're going to take a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse McFarlane Collector Edition Batman Year 2. So here he is in all of his Collector Edition glory. I ordered this from the McFarlane Toys online store, and he arrived with Adam Strange and Deadshot just the other day. So yeah, here he is. I am excited to get into this figure. He looks great in the packaging, but there's some things that, I have concerns about, which we'll get into in a minute. So without further ado, let's get this guy out of the packaging and take a closer look. All right, so there he is outside of the packaging. He does come with an extra set of hands, the sickle, the gun. The holster's attached to him, so that doesn't really count as an accessory. But I think you could take it off pretty easy, but I don't think it's designed to be removed. And then there is the trading card that accompanies the figure. Now, as far as year 2 in the story, I can't tell you one thing about that story. I think I read it a really long time ago, but I do not remember it at all. I don't know why he has a gun. Obviously, it's very story specific, so I should probably go read the story again so I get a better understanding of the gun and the holster. But I think for me, right off the bat, I don't like the holster. Just from a design perspective, again, my opinion, I just don't like the way the holster is right there across his chest. If it was off to his side, right by the belt, like on a hip holster, that would have, I think, worked for this sort of version of Batman. So I think that's one of my problems with this figure, where I'm not really vibing with it right now. It's just because I don't like the design of the figure. Not and McFarlane Toys, I think, translated it well. I mean, that's the way it looks like in the art. But I'm not a fan of the holster across the chest. Again, I do respect it though, because it is comic book specific. So there is that. And so there's that. Then I think the other thing that's bothering me about the figure is just the cape. It's a cool cape. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and it looks cool just kind of standing there. But I don't know. It's not my favorite. And again, I see what they're trying to go for here with comparing it to the artwork. So there's all that. But for me, I just don't really care for the cape. Again, the design of it, as far as the way it looks here in this figure. I think this would have worked better as a statue, maybe. I don't know what I would have wanted from this. But I think if this cape had just been like a cloth cape, a cloth wired cape, that would have been awesome. Because I do love the comic book shading with the blue, the gray of the suit. I love the face sculpt, the head sculpt, actually. So there's a lot I do like about it. But yeah, I don't know. Right now I'm pretty mixed on the figure, as you can tell. Now, as far as accuracy to the source material, this is the trading card it came with. Again, I'm not that familiar with the story. I think I read it once again. But just comparing it here, if they were going for this, probably should have been a lot more blue. But, maybe it looks different in the comic book itself. But there you go. So getting more into the figure. So it does come with the gun. You can see there. He doesn't hold it very well, though. I think if you use the sickle hand... Well, let me show you the sickle before I, take it off there. But there's the sickle that it comes with. So that's cool. Very comic book specific accessory. So always love that. But yeah, let's take that off. And then I think this hand actually holds the gun a lot better. So yeah, you could have him holding the gun with that hand. But then if you try to have him holding the sickle with this other hand, it doesn't really work very well at all. Like, it stays in there, but it's very loose and it's going to fall out at any minute. But, you can get it to work with the hands that were given. I guess there was, there you go. There was the sickle. I wish there was a proper, like, trigger finger hand. This one, as well, is more like a little kind of claw type hand. And there you go. So there's that. And then here it is in the holster. So yeah, if you're going for the look of year 2 Batman with the gun in the holster, I think that achieves that point. So to that, I think that's pretty cool that you have this version of Batman. I guess I just don't care for it. So that's why I'm not that excited about it. Now, as far as how this attaches, as you can see, it does seem pretty removable. I think you could probably pry off the cape maybe and take it off, but the cape is kind of glued down. So I don't know. I might cut this off honestly, and see if I like it more. I think I would, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of this figure being a year 2 Batman, right? If I cut that off, so I don't know. I'll noodle with it. This is using the year 2 body that's the original version from a couple years ago. I don't have that handy to do a comparison. I apologize, but I think the Hush body. This was also used for the Hush body to some degree as well. So this has been used before. But other than the things I've nitpicked, I like the head quite a bit. I love the head sculpt. I love the long ears. I'm a fan of long ears on Batman. I think it looks pretty awesome. I like the blue shading, the little comic book shading there. I think that looks great. Love the gray and the black, and I love the blue on the inside of the cape. Yeah, I think if this just was more of a normal looking cape, again, defeating the purpose of the figure, I would have dug it a little bit more. But we'll see if I'm going to remove that holster. But there's the articulation there, as you can see. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Do you guys dig this figure? Do you like the design of it? You know, I don't know. What do you guys think? But all right, let's see how he looks next to a few other McFarlane figures. All right, there is year 2 Batman next to Batman 1,000,000 and Hush Batman. So when I look at it like this, I really do actually love it now, just because it shows the different costumes that Batman wears, you know, in the comic books. And that, from that perspective, this is pretty cool to have this on a shelf next to like year 1 Batman, Hush Batman, year 2 Batman. That is awesome that you can kind of do that. And I've loved all the figures that, most of the Batman figures that McFarlane's done. So from that perspective, as far as like getting this version of the suit, of this look that Batman had briefly, I think that's pretty cool. Again, I still don't really care for the design of it. The holster awkwardly up there on the chest, you know, but I think as far as it representing year 2 Batman, I think it does the job. You know, again, it's not perfect to what I saw on the trading card as far as the colors and all that goes. But, you know, I think the major element being the gun and the holster and, you know, the Tom McFarlane look of it, I think it does achieve it there. So there you go. Mixed review on year 2 Batman. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you love this figure? Do you not love this figure? Always love to hear the differing thoughts and whatnot. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and have a great day.